Coach K and Boeheim reflected this in your column, that they don't feel comfortable like there's any decent leadership or forward thinking from the NCAA. And do you think that anything will scare them into that, or will they have to see major hits in ratings and relevancy to finally react?
The NCAA is a historically reactive organization. I got a text from an NBA guy yesterday who was in college. And he said, I've been gone now from college basketball for a handful of years, and he said he was blown away with how lazy and not forward-thinking the NCAA is. And I just think that's the case here. I grabbed an NCAA official walking on the court the other day who I just happened to bump into when I was walking on. I said, hey, did you see Coach K's comments in D.C.? This is before I'd written my column. He was like, not really. I haven't really, been busy. I haven't really done. I was like, really? Like the Hall of Fame face of your sport from a coaching perspective calls your leadership on the carpet? I mean, look, at the end of the day, D.A., no one can argue this. College basketball is $1 billion business with no one in charge. And they need to start acting differently.
So you don't consider Mark Emmert being in charge?
Well, he's not in charge of college basketball. He's in charge of field hockey and cross country and Shippensburg and, Linfield and whatever, right? Like, you would think that it makes 90% of their money, right? I'm sure Apple has someone in charge of the iPhone, right?
So the Olympic model feels inevitable, though, right? I mean, at some point, Zion Williamson of the future is going to be allowed to sell Subway while he's at Duke. I just think that that's completely logical, inevitable, and such an easy solution.
I think so, too. But these things aren't done like, you know what? This may change and the sport may evolve. And again, like, people aren't going to stop watching the NCAA tournament. I don't want to sound like fatalists because you know what? They can gamble on it. The bracket has been the great bailout to prevent forward thinking for this sport. Because, look, you obviously grew up and live in the Northeast. I grew up and live in the Northeast too. Like, most of our friends don't watch college basketball, fill out a bracket and watch for 3 weeks, right? That's it. So the bracket has basically saved the game from actually having to people having to think and evolve until they're absolutely forced to with a knife. Because the bracket is this it is the game could be terrible and people are still going to watch because they're gambling on it, and it's set up for it's just basically like reality TV for buzzer beaters, So it's the bracket and the tournament in itself have been so successful. I think it's impeded forward progress and evolution. And these guys who've been around for 40 years are just basically saying, hey guys, let's get a plan together.